Please join us.
Saturday mornings at 7 on KSJE, Farmington. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, your community hospital with a rich heritage that dates back to before New Mexico was a state. We've been improving the health of the Four Corners since 1910. As a nonprofit hospital, San Juan Regional Medical Center is a values-driven organization. We strive to deliver on our mission to personalize health care and create vitality and enthusiasm in healing. We are here for you when you need us, offering a comprehensive range of inpatient, outpatient, and emergency care services. "11 minutes past 8 o'clock, Friday morning, May the 3rd. This is KSJE 90.9 FM. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Michlin. Thank you for tuning in this morning and for joining me today. Special thanks, too, to our viewers who are watching me live this morning on the KSJE Facebook page and YouTube channel. We're glad you're with us as well, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Coming up in the next few moments this morning, a bit of a schedule change today. We are going to be talking about Tres Rios Habitat for Humanity in San Juan County. They have a new family selected that they will be building a home for this summer, and the family will be helping as well. We'll be talking a bit about Habitat for Humanity coming up in the next few moments right here on KSJE, so we hope you'll stay tuned for that. Then, of course, we will round out the 8 o'clock hour as we do on Fridays. Wally D with Wally D Sports will be joining me here in the studio, talking a little bit about prep sports, a wrap-up of this past week's activities, and also a look ahead at what's going on this weekend and the week ahead. So stay tuned for that this morning as well at 8:50 right here on KSJE. 9 o'clock, Mick Hess will take over the airwaves on the radio, Roving with the Arts. And today, Mick is playing Brahms' Horn Sonata coming up today at 9 a.m. on Roving with the Arts right here on KSJE. Today at noon, it's our Friday Spotlight program when we get to highlight a great event in the community or a great thing that is going on. And today, we are catching up with Farmington native Poppin' John Austin, who is in the very finals, perhaps, of World of Dance, another NBC program featuring a New Mexico native. And so we'll be catching up with him today at noon to find out about his performances on that program and what's at stake on Sunday's broadcast coming up today at noon on our Friday Spotlight program with Poppin' John. We hope you'll join us for that right here on KSJE. And then, of course, our storytelling program at 12:30 today from our partners at the Farmington Public Library, Cuentos, Hana, and Tales. We'll be talking with that, of course, sharing some great stories with you on the radio today at 12:30. And, of course, you can always listen at 90.9 FM or stream the radio signal on our website at ksje.com. Don't forget, of course, we hope you will join us right here at the 0 Mile Fun Run. It is a fundraiser for KSJE, which, as you know, is supported through the generosity of listeners just like you and local businesses. Your chance to support us for $15 by signing up today at ksje.com for the 0 Mile Fun Run. 10 a.m. Saturday, May 18th, and we're only a few weeks away, so we hope you will do that and join us for a very fun event. It only takes a few minutes because it's 0 miles, everybody, so you can still get to brunch or something on Saturday if you join us at 10 o'clock. So we'll see you on May 18th right here at San Juan College. Of course, connect with us on all forms of social media to find out about events like this and many others on Facebook, our KSJE channel on YouTube, Twitter, and, of course, KSJE on Instagram. So we'll join us on all of those social media platforms wherever you happen to hang out as well. If you're looking for something to do this weekend, look no further than the KSJE Regional Events Calendar. We've got a lot of things going on over the next just couple of days is all I have time to show you this morning. If you're watching us, we have therapy dog sessions here at San Juan College because of finals week. An Astro Friday presentation happening later on tonight. There are two shows with that, of course. There's also dancing in Durango. Ballet Durango is performing at the Community Concert Hall at Fort Lewis College. A museum adventure tour of the Upper Antelope Slot Canyon, sponsored by the Farmington Museum. Friends of Aztec Ruins are doing a Pueblitos tour this weekend. You can check that out as well. And if you're heading down to Albuquerque, there is the Rio Grande Valley Celtic Festival in Bernalillo this weekend as well. And don't forget, of course, about the Aztec Artist Studio Tour. We did a program about that just on Wednesday. So that's happening in Aztec this weekend as well. But there's lots of great events near and far. That's why we call it the Regional Events Calendar at ksje.com. I'm Scott Michlin. You're listening to the Scott Michlin Morning Program right here on KSJE, and I want to welcome to the KSJE microphones my guest this morning from Tres Rios Habitat for Humanity. Hope Tyler is here, one of the outreach folks for Habitat. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here. Also, Daniel Evans is here, who is the manager of the Habitat store here in Farmington. Daniel, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for being with us, both of you, to talk about some of the exciting things happening with the local chapter of Habitat for Humanity. And Hope, let's start with you. I guess the biggest news is you have a family and you're going to start, if not started already, building a new home for this family.
Very, very excited. We have officially started construction on our fourth house in Crouch Mesa, and we are giving that to Santana Garcia. We're actually partnering with her on that, and she is a mom of 4 little girls, so we're very excited to be working with that family and to be building them 3-bedroom home up on Crouch Mesa.
Very nice. And with, with that big family, I imagine that they would need a lot of room in a house,
Yes.
right, of their own.
Yes.
So this is very exciting. And so it is the traditional way that Habitat does this with families, right? And
Yes.
she has applied.
So she applied, she passed the background and the credit checks and all of that, but most importantly, she has to prove that she's in need of this home, that her home is unsafe or unsanitary. So her and her 4 little girls were living in a little single wide trailer that the roof was caving in, the windows wouldn't quite so they wouldn't open, the door wouldn't close on the front.
Okay.
Not great stuff.
Right.
And so when she applied, and we talked to her, and she's done a wonderful job of doing great with her credit and really paying attention to her finances, and so she qualified.
Very exciting. And so this
Yeah.
is the latest house that's being built on Crouch Mesa and what's kind of becoming a little Habitat neighborhood.
That's right, absolutely. We now have 4 homes up there. We have 1 more lot to build on. And actually, and just not too long ago news, we also just bought 3 more lots in Aztec where we'll do something similar once we're done with those builds.
Okay. So you've got long-range plans
Yes.
for Habitat
Yes.
for Humanity, which is very exciting.
Yes.
And Daniel, let me turn to you a little bit about what all this means for the organization. You've been part of this for a long time, I know, and running the store, and so that's part of how Habitat gets money to do some of these things, correct?
Yes, sir. I've been privileged. It'll be 5 years
5 years.
This
Good for
summer.
you. Right.
that I've been actively raising money through the secondhand store.
Right.
So I get to do that 52 weeks out of the year, and I get to not only see these families benefit from all the contributions, but get to see, as you just mentioned, the organization begin to grow and obviously reap the benefits of community support.
Right. And that's how the rest of us can help support Tres Rios Habitat for Humanity, right?
They
By
can.
checking out the store, as we're showing our viewers who are watching us this morning. 1915 East Murray Drive is where it's located, correct? So that's where folks can stop by and check it out. And I know you have a variety, and you look for a variety of things to offer in the store.
We do. We take many, many types of donations, and basically anything that would improve someone's home the very next day.
Okay. But it doesn't be brand new items, right?
It doesn't.
I can donate slightly used items or things like that, and someone else can use them in a remodel at their house.
Exactly. Any items that you're done with and they obviously don't need to go to the landfill, we would do our best to take on so that we can obviously raise money for the cause and divert some of these things from being tossed out.
Right, right. And full disclosure, I have done that, everybody, in the past. So it's worked out really well for me and I think for the store, I hope, anyway. I hope
Every
you'll be able to
donation-
resell that stuff and not...
Every donation matters.
Good. Well, that's great. And that really helps. And hope it helps the community, doesn't it?
It
As
does.
Daniel was saying, by being able to reuse some of these things in other construction projects or
Absolutely.
remodeling projects.
Absolutely. You know, the Habitat motto is recycle, reuse, and so the store allows us to do that. And yes, we're building new things, but we're also always helping people fix things, repair things, and the store enables us to both raise money as well as provide that for people.
Right. And so now with this new home that's being built on Crouch Mesa, as you mentioned, there will be some volunteer opportunities for us. Of course, Santana and her family will be also helping to build this home,
Yes,
correct? That's part of
correct.
the agreement.
In fact, she has to do 200 hours on her own home and help build it. And it's part of our plan and that once she becomes a homeowner, she'll actually have some building skills, some repair skills. So if something goes wrong, she's just not stuck. She actually gains skill while she's building her home. Not to mention that her heart and soul will be in it if you build your own home.
Right, little sweat equity,
That's
as they call it,
right.
right, in these projects. And so, but that's really true for a lot of folks who maybe have been renting for a long time or forever. They're not familiar with what goes along with home ownership and the responsibilities and
Absolutely.
things like that. And that's what this is designed to teach.
Yes. And she'll have to take some financial classes too and just, you know, how do you manage everything in the home ownership?
Right, right, which is very,
It's a real teaching program.
I bet it is, and I'm sure she's very excited
Yes. Oh,
to-
she's so excited.
to be a part of this, for a big change
Yes.
for her and her daughters, as you mentioned. You brought some photos with you to show some of the other projects in the past of Habitat for Humanity projects in the region, everybody. So if you're watching us, and we encourage you to do that, this is another similar home that's going to be built for Santana,
Correct.
correct?
We're using a very similar floor plan to the home that you see on the monitor. This was actually Haley Tafoya's home. The major differences will be more cosmetic, I guess.
Okay.
Our building manager, Greg Anderson, who is a very special guy, is going to do kind of a cool entryway thing. He's going to actually have 2 decks on this house. He's hoping that someone will donate a cylinder skylight for the bathroom that doesn't have any windows.
Okay.
So there's really some little touches that will make it unique, but
Right.
still keep it within our budget so that we can keep building other homes.
And that's really important, the budget part of
Mm-hmm.
this, right? Because these homeowners are going to be repaying
Correct.
what they're spending or
Yes.
what you're spending for them.
A typical payment for them is $500 to $600, so it's very affordable.
Mm-hmm.
They do get a no-interest loan, but they are responsible to buy their home. This is not a giveaway. This is not a free home.
Right, and a lot of folks maybe don't understand that, how that
Correct.
all works. So that's
Yes.
important to make that point. And for some of the past Habitat families, I know it's made a big difference for them to be able to pay that back and have that equity and be able to invest in their homes.
Absolutely. I like to use Haley as an example. When she qualified for her home, she was in school. She was raising 2 small children, and now she is a prominent person at a salon here in town. She's even looking at future opportunities of possibly buying in, and she's really made the best of her opportunities, and that's what we want to see in this program.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Daniel, again, you've heard these stories too, right, from these former Habitat families,
He probably
right?
knows them better than I do.
If a family receives that home, that changes everything. They're like you just mentioned, they're not only invested in that home and the equity that resides in that structure, they're now invested in the community in a long-term commitment.
Right. And that neighborhood and with their families and everything else, it all goes along with it, doesn't it?
Sure is.
Well, one thing I've noticed, I've been just involved for only a year, so not as long as Daniel, but I've noticed that the families who we've built these homes for always show up for the next family. They are very much more involved with the communities. When we do community fundraisers, they show up. They invest not just in their home and what they need for their families. It's a community development
Sure.
for them as well.
And they can give back a little bit too, right? Or pass
Absolutely.
it forward.
Yeah.
Pay it forward
Pay
is
it
what I'm
forward.
trying to say.
Yes.
And that's kind of how it works too, right? And so as we look at some of these other photos of the homes going up, I mean, this is a home being built from the ground up, right?
Yes.
And so there are contractors and professionals that are on site doing some of that work, but there's also jobs available for other volunteers who want to
Correct.
help out, correct?
Yep. We keep a database of volunteers, and whenever we have things where we can, I can't speak either now, use volunteer
catchy.
opportunities or volunteer days, we call
Right.
them, we send out an email and we say, hey, we need somebody this Friday. And then whoever can come is great. We also work with groups. Like we work with Wells Fargo. I've been talking to Honda here in town. They're going to send a group out. And so there's also a team building aspect for volunteers if they want to do that.
Which is always great. And so we're
Yeah.
seeing a photo of a kind of a wall raising, if you will,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Which happens as part of every building project, right? But not every job is maybe this strenuous or this physical that
Correct.
that you could use a volunteer
Well,
for, correct?
I mean, sometimes it's just painting a small area. You don't have to be a professional painter. I am not, but I sometimes help.
Right. I can hold a paintbrush. So
But you
yeah.
know, even like sometimes we just need somebody to provide lunch for the volunteers. So if you're really saying, "Oh boy, me and hammers, not so much," but if you've never held a hammer, there's lots of things you can do without being a professional.
Good to know.
Yeah.
And so this project, as you mentioned, it's just getting started. So the foundations are going in,
Mm-hmm.
and so over the summer, I suppose, this is when the need will be for these volunteers, right?
Well, yes, there'll be opportunities starting very soon. It'll take us about 5 months to build this home, 5 to 6 months. We're hoping to have Santana and her little girls in the house before Christmas.
Won't that be
Their
nice?
first
What a great Christmas present, right?
But we can't do that if we don't have the volunteers to help us get the construction done.
Right. And so the word will go out. And so if someone's listening or watching us this morning and wants to be on that list, what's the best way for them to get on that volunteer list?
HabitatSanJuan@gmail.com. If you just email us, we'll get you on the list, and we'll put you in our newsletter so you know what else is going on with us as well.
Okay. That's the way to do it. The best way.
Yes.
Okay.
You can always call us, too. You can call the store. Daniel's always there to talk to
He
people
is,
and sign up
he is
people.
always there. I don't know
He's
when
a
he
hard-working
sleeps.
guy.
I don't know when he sleeps. I know. He's a family of his own, but he's always at the store. That's
You
true.
can definitely call our number, 592-7761, and I'll get you in touch with the correct person.
Okay, perfect. That's a great way to do it, everybody. And so as we look at some of the other pictures that you sent me about some of the habitat projects here, as we saw, here's some other folks who are standing out in front of a home under construction. We can see it in the background there. And so that's
And some of
another...
the people you see pictured there are some of our long-term volunteers. But if you look to the left and just to the guy in the white shirt on the left side,
Mm-hmm.
second in, that's actually our contract manager, Greg Anderson.
Okay,
Yeah.
a little shout out for him. There you go, exactly.
He's helped us build the last 4 homes, I believe. This will be his 4th with us, right?
I believe so.
Pretty close to it. Okay, all right. Here's some concrete work going in, right?
Yep.
And again,
we
you
are
do
very-
not have to be a concrete expert
do not.
to
In fact-
work on these homes.
In fact, this year, Hard Rock Builders has donated the foundation for us. And so all they need is somebody to come and kind of watch the concrete dry and help them out.
Okay, that's always good.
Perfect.
And resist the temptation to sign your name on it.
Well, that's just for Santana.
Yeah, that's true.
Family only.
Very true. Good point. Very good point. And that brings up another great point, too, about the businesses that do donate some of their time, talents, and labor to make these projects happen, too, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we were very fortunate. In fact, Serrano's just donated an outhouse. I know that's big, exciting news.
Well, that's...
But that was awesome.
If you're at a work site,
You need
that
it on a
is
work
important.
site.
That's right.
Navajo Transitional Energy Company gave us a very large grant that's going towards this house.
Okay.
It was very nice of them.
Nice.
And we've had a number of other people. If you go to our website, you can see everyone who's donating from the business world.
Okay. And if there's a business out there that would still like to be a part of this,
Absolutely. Contact me. I will talk to you.
you will call them right back. I know. That's true. Here's another picture of another house that's been built, right, for another Habitat family?
Correct?
Great. Is this one at Crouch Mesa or a
It
different
is.
location?
That's also in Crouch Mesa.
Okay.
That was the first house on Crouch Mesa.
That was it.
And that was the beginning of, like you said, this little community.
Little neighborhood, right?
Homes, exactly.
And as we mentioned now, you've got some lots on Crouch Mesa, but you've also bought now some property in the Aztec area.
Yes, through the very generous donation, we were able to purchase some lots at a very low cost in Aztec just in September. One in November and one in January, I guess.
Right.
Okay.
We split it over the 2 years. So when we're ready,
Right.
and of course it takes funding. You know, we're looking at $130,000, $140,000 to build every house that we build, even at cost.
Right.
And so we can't always build 3 homes at once, but we'd love to get to the point where we're building 1 or 2 a year. And so
Sure.
we have the property for that.
And that's how it works, too. I mean, again, I think folks are maybe not sure how it works. You don't go out and get mortgages because you try to pay for it all on your own.
Correct.
And then the homeowner pays you back as
Correct.
they build that equity.
Yes, we have what's called the Fund for Humanity. So each home we build contributes a little bit to that fund, but it's not enough on its own. So that's why we apply for grants. We go to the community businesses, and we try to raise what we don't have from
Right.
that kind of funding.
Exactly. And so that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And we do have another topic to talk about this morning, too, and that is a renovation project or rehabilitation project that you are a part of, too, with another home in the community, right?
Correct. Wells Fargo offered and partnered with Habitat New Mexico, and we applied to that as part of the Farmington. We're one of the affiliates, I guess is what you would call us. And do you want to talk about the house, Daniel? Or would you like me to?
We get
either one.
requests. We get requests very often for what we consider small projects.
Right.
So these families don't necessarily need a new home or would not necessarily qualify, as others have qualified, for a new home build. So it's exciting to see the charity have the ability, through the grant from Wells Fargo or any other source that we can attach to make some improvements to a pre-existing home. Again, Habitat for Humanity's goal worldwide is to provide decent housing for those who are ready to participate.
Got you. And so this home was an existing home. A family was living in it, and it was having some serious, it sounds to me, some serious foundation issues. And so you've been able to step in to fix those, I guess,
Correct.
right? Ideally.
Yes, and it's actually a younger couple. They're in their 30s. They had fallen on a little bit of hard times, and so there were some things that just weren't quite getting done. And with the rain we had this fall, it started eroding their foundation, and the house was literally splitting apart. And so we're coming in and putting it back together. We're fixing some windows. We're going to paint with the Wells Fargo volunteers.
Okay.
And keep their home
Nice.
in one piece.
That's always great.
Yes.
And so this is another type of a project that you could do in the community
Correct.
with the support from, it sounds like Wells Fargo and maybe some others
Sure.
too, right?
Well, I'll give you another example of one of the small projects. Last year, we had a lady come to us. She was having cancer treatments. She'd had a stroke. She was going through some difficult medical times. While she was in Albuquerque getting treatment, people broke into her home and did a whole bunch of damage, destroyed her carpets, broke a lot of things. So we came in, rebuilt her stairway, rebuilt her front door, redid the floors to support her so that when she got out of the hospital, she actually had a place to come home to.
Wow.
So that's the kind of projects we're doing.
Sure. And what a big difference that meant for her to
Yes.
come home to a house that was repaired.
Yes. Well, they wouldn't have released her from the hospital if she didn't have a sanitary, safe place to go.
Right. Good point. So,
So,
wonderful.
yeah.
Well, there's great work that's being done in the community. It's always great to hear about. Daniel Evans, let me turn back to you again, a couple more comments about the store, because I don't know if everyone knows about the store and the great things that you offered there. And I know you've had some really unique items that maybe folks wouldn't think would be at a Habitat store.
We have unique items. We have donations from all across this county. And like I said, it's a privilege to be able to go to work every week knowing that, A, the community is going to chip in and provide us with donations. And then B, we're going to be able to turn that into usable capital to turn right back around and do the exact things we just talked about. Build some
Right.
homes, improve some homes, save a home from
Sure.
being uninhabitable
Right. Split in two. Yeah.
so that she can get out of the hospital, get back into her normal routine, and get healthy again. So all these little things, they begin to add up very quickly. And like I said, over 5 years of seeing how much the community will support this charity, how much the community will support any type of activity that we can get our hands on,
Right.
is just absolutely phenomenal to me.
That's terrific. And so the items that people would see when they go in, I'm just trying to think when I've gone to the store and what I've seen there. I mean, you've got it seems like you've got everything.
You have everything.
But we're talking maybe kitchen cabinets to furniture items to even hardware, doorknobs, hinges, the things that maybe you even wouldn't think you'd find there, you find there.
I
right?
tell people you're going to see everything from cutlery and a blender
Right.
all the way on up to huge sliding glass doors, massive vinyl windows, roofing, flooring, everything you can think of for the home.
All those different types of things. It's
And
amazing,
I'll
isn't
chime
it?
in as just the
Yes.
female here in this group. I love to go to the store and get the pieces of tile, and I build a mosaic in my garden. So there's lots of just fun, crafty projects, home repair projects. I built a bird bath out of stuff I got from a Habitat store. You know, there's lots of opportunities. It doesn't just have to be, oh, I need a new refrigerator.
Although they have those too.
They have those too.
Yeah, that's true.
but
but
there's
you're
just
right.
a lot of opportunity for fun things that you can get at the store.
That's true.
And I can't say enough about the willingness of people to provide what they have. Remember, not everybody can sit down and write a check.
Sure.
And we understand that.
Right.
We understand in this area, in the current situation, all you may have is a love seat. Wonderful. Donate your love seat. You may only have windows from another property that you have sitting on the side of the house. Perfect. Donate those.
Right.
Every little donation goes a long way.
Very true. And again, all of us can do that probably.
Eventually.
As
I
we're
think eventually
remodeling
everybody
or-
can donate something.
Sure.
It's spring cleaning time. I'm sure I have something in my garage.
I
right
would
now.
imagine that all of us do. That's very true. And I know that, Daniel, you're really good about going out. If people can't get maybe items to the store, you will make arrangements to try to pick them up, too.
I will schedule a pickup for anyone within the confines of the county. And
Okay.
it may take a few days, as I am the driver
He's it.
that you will see
That's right.
at your door. It may take a few days for that schedule to work to your door. But yes, we will pick up those items if it is too difficult or too unsafe for you to transport them.
Good to know. All right. It's a great opportunity, a great resource, again, for the community. And we're so excited about this new home being built
Yes.
for this family. I think that's wonderful. And again, this is Santana and her 4 daughters, you
Yes,
mentioned,
I
right?
think ages 3 to 9, so they're a young family. Santana actually has worked in children's care, so she could be with her children, and has, like I said, they're just sweet, sweet little girls.
Nice.
Really, really nice, well-behaved little girls with cute little bows in their hair.
Of
That's one of
course.
Santana's favorite things to do.
Okay. Well, that's great. And again, this will make a big difference for them, won't it? Having their own home and not have to worry about rent and landlords and things like that.
I always like to see someone with children go into the homes because there's a proven statistic with you. If you get a Habitat home, there's a better chance your children will graduate high school and go to college because they have that safe and secure environment to study in.
That's great.
So with her little girls, we're looking forward to seeing their future.
Well, looking forward to it. So that's wonderful news. Thank you both for coming in this morning to share a little bit about the great things that Habitat for Humanity is doing in San Juan County.
Thank you, Scott.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here, both of you. My guests from the Tres Rios chapter of Habitat for Humanity right here on KSJE. Back with more in just a moment, everyone.
What Facebook actually means when it says privacy.